Patrick Conley. I'm the Manager of New Space Initiatives here at ISU, and it is my esteemed honor to serve as your Master of Ceremonies today. But today belongs to the graduates. So please stand and join me in welcoming the graduating class of MSS MSc 2025. Thank you so much. You may be seated. We are honored today to be joined by a number of distinguished guests representing the international community that makes ISU so special. Your presence here honors this ceremony and reflects the global reach of this institution, and we're grateful that you're here. We are gathered here, particularly in Strasbourg at the Central Campus, to mark a milestone that each person in this room worked hard for. Today, we confer upon a distinguished cohort the degrees that they have earned, the Master of Space Studies and the Master of Science in Space Studies. Now, these are not ordinary degrees. They represent an education that is international, intercultural, interdisciplinary, and innovative. And they're delivered at one of the foremost institutions in the world dedicated to the advancement of space and humanity's role within it. To the families, partners, and loved ones here today, and joining us from around the world at the camera right there, your support has been the foundation upon which these graduates have built. We honor you alongside them. It is now my very great honor to invite the president of the International Space University, Dr. John Wensveen, to open this ceremony with his welcoming address. Dr. Wensveen.
Well done, sir. Good afternoon, everybody. So good afternoon, distinguished guests, faculty, staff, families, and most importantly, the graduating class of the Master of Space Studies 2025. And for those joining us online, hello. Today is a celebration. It's a milestone. And for many of you, the realization of a dream that started years ago, perhaps even as a child looking up at the sky and wondering what lies beyond. Graduates, this moment belongs to you. You have completed one of the most unique and demanding interdisciplinary degrees in the world. At ISU, you didn't just study space, you lived it. You worked across cultures, across disciplines, and across perspectives. Engineers worked with policy experts. Scientists collaborated with business leaders. Together, you learned what it truly means to operate in the global space ecosystem. And that is what makes ISU special. We don't just educate individuals. We build teams capable of shaping the future of humanity in space. The MSS journey is not easy, or was it? I don't think it was, right? Nobody agrees with that. But the MSS journey was not easy. You navigated complex systems, intense team projects, long nights, and high expectations. You challenged each other, you learned to lead, and just as importantly, you learned when to listen. You discovered that space is not just about rockets and satellites. It is about climate monitoring, global connectivity, national security, economic development, and ultimately the future of life on Earth and beyond. You now carry that understanding with you, and with it, a responsibility. Today, you join a global community of over 6,000 ISU alumni, and just for the record, you are the class that put us over 6,000. This network spans every sector of the space economy: agencies, startup, industry leaders, policymakers, researchers, and entrepreneurs. And wherever you go, from Houston to Paris, from Tokyo to Dubai, you will find ISU alumni leading, innovating, and making a difference. You are now part of that network. But this is not just a network that you join. It is one that you are expected to contribute to. We often say, give back with your time, your talent, your treasure. Stay connected, support each other, open doors for those who follow you. Because the strength of ISU is not just in what we teach, it is what we are together. You are graduating at a very pivotal moment in time. We are witnessing the rapid acceleration of the new space economy, a shift from government-led exploration to a dynamic, global, commercial ecosystem. On May 15, 1958, Sputnik 3 was launched by the Soviet Union as one of the world's earliest scientific research initiatives. Beyond its technical achievements, the mission symbolized something larger, the understanding that the future would belong to those willing to innovate, adapt, and push beyond traditional boundaries. Nearly 7 decades later, the same spirit continues to define the global space ecosystem that you are now entering. The technologies may have changed, the actors are more diverse, but the core challenge remains the same. Those who are willing to think differently, collaborate globally, and embrace disruption will shape the future of humanity in space. Private investment is growing, new technologies are emerging, barriers are falling, and opportunities are expanding in ways that we could never have imagined even a decade ago. But with opportunity comes complexity. The challenges ahead are extremely significant: space sustainability, orbital congestion, ethical use of emerging technologies, geopolitical tensions, climate impacts. The world needs leaders who understand not just technology, but the systems, the policies, the economics, and the human dimension of space. This is exactly what ISU has prepared you to do. As you graduate, ISU itself is on a transformative journey, our Moonshot 2030 strategy. This vision is about more than growth. It is about ensuring that ISU becomes financially self-sustaining, globally accessible, deeply connected to the evolving needs of the space workforce. Let me also take a moment to speak with you candidly as your president. Like many institutions around the world, ISU is navigating a period of transition. Changes in our funding landscape have required us to reflect, adapt, and make important decisions about our future. While there are limits to what I can share with you today, what I can tell you is this: we are actively shaping the next generation model, one that is more agile, more globally connected, and more closely aligned with the needs of the rapidly expanding new space economy. A model that reflects the realities of industry demand, the pace of technological disruption, and the global nature of the space ecosystem across all continents. ISU is not defined by a single campus or a single model. It is defined by its mission, its global community, and its impact. And that is why I'm confident that ISU will continue to evolve, to grow, and to lead in new and different ways. The future of ISU will not be defined by geography. It will be defined by reach, relevance, and impact across a truly global space ecosystem. This evolution is not a departure from who we are. It is a strengthening of who we are. ISU has always been a place that brings together disciplines, cultures, and perspectives to solve the world's complex challenges, and that mission remains unchanged. What is changing is how we deliver on that mission, so that ISU not only endures, but leads. And you, our graduates, are part of that future. Let me share something with you. Space has always represented the ultimate frontier, but what makes it meaningful is not just the destination. It is the people who choose to pursue it. People like you. People who are willing to take risks, to collaborate across borders, to think differently, and to challenge the status quo. That mindset, the ISU mindset, is what the world needs now more than ever. So as you leave ISU and take your next steps, I leave you with this: be bold, be curious, and be collaborative. Do not be afraid to disrupt. Do not be afraid to lead, and do not be afraid to fail. Because in space and in life, failure is often the pathway to innovation. Most importantly, remember why you started. Remember that sense of wonder. Because the future of space is just not about explanation. It is about impact. Impact on Earth, impact on society, and impact on future generations. Graduates of MSS and MSc 2025, you are ready to lead, ready to innovate, and ready to shape the future of the new space economy. On behalf of the International Space University, it is my honor to welcome you into our global alumni community. Congratulations on your achievement. We are incredibly proud of you, and we cannot wait to see what you will do next. So thank you, and again, congratulations to the class of 2025.
Thank you, Dr. Wensveen. Now, ISU's chancellor has lived several, but I'll count explicitly 3 extraordinary lives in one. He flew F-16s for the Israeli Air Force. He built Vital Capital, an impact investment fund that has brought clean water, electricity, and healthcare to 2.5 million people across Africa. And in April 2022, he spent 17 days aboard the International Space Station, teaching physics lessons live to Israeli schoolchildren from orbit. He comes to this role with a conviction that space must serve all of humanity. Ladies and gentlemen, ISU's Chancellor, Mr. Eitan Stibbe.
Congratulations. Oops, there we go. So beyond the countless hours of studies and research that you spent here at the ISU, you have demonstrated your ability to communicate across cultures and embrace diversity. Those qualities will become some of your greatest strengths, because space is a strategic domain. It's a strategic domain. It is shared by governments and the private sector alike, driven by economic, scientific, and security issues. And all of them operate within the same playground, or perhaps we can call it play orbit instead of playground. And it is not an easy environment. Space is challenging, hostile, and unforgiving. And the space domain faces today, like John mentioned, growing pressure from geopolitical fragmentation. More than ever, the world needs professionals who can build bridges across disciplines, cultures, and nations, like you. You are now part of a much larger community than the ISU alumni. You're part of the space community. And you will help shape the future of space. And your timing is perfect. The domain is booming now. Space is rapidly becoming an integral part of Earth's infrastructure, a bit like the oceans previously. We're now building their data centers, connectivity systems, and even future power generation capabilities. At the same time, the perception of risk surrounding space is steadily declining. Uncertainty is gradually being replaced by reliability. People trust space companies. And we can see that in the number of space companies that are reaching extraordinary valuations and entering public markets. Companies like Voyager Technologies, Firefly, maybe soon even SpaceX. Just a few days ago, I participated in the Space Summit of the New York Stock Exchange. Who would imagine? dozens of companies gathered seeking investment and partnerships. And the discussion topics were very interesting, like space investment, microgravity medicine, designing humanity's future homes in orbit, space-enabled point-to-point transportation. Very interesting. It is an exciting moment to enter this field. And in many ways, I feel you are in a situation similar to the one I experienced when returning to Earth after 17 days in space. 420 kilometers above Australia, we allowed gravity to take control of a Dragon spaceship and bring us down to splash down near Florida. And during that period, it takes about 20-30 minutes, I experienced a very powerful mix of emotions. The joy of completing a mission, the sadness of leaving behind a crew that had become family, and the excitement of beginning something entirely new. That is where many of you are today. A young Australian poet, Erin Hansen, wrote, "There's freedom waiting for you on the breezes of the sky. And you ask, what if I fall? Oh, but my darling, what if you fly? So fly safe." Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Stiva. Words spoken by someone who's actually looked down on the Earth from orbit are words that carry a little more gravity. And I hope that you carry some of those words with you. Now, we continue with an address from a leader who brings to ISU exceptional breadth of experience across academia, institutional strategy, and international aviation. He joined ISU as the Executive Vice President in October 2025, and in the months since has been the driving force between our institutional and strategic strategy. Please welcome ISU's Executive Vice President, Dr. William Muldoon.
I'm a little bit shorter than everybody else, so I hope you'll bear with me. So, ladies and gentlemen, I bring greetings to our dear ISU students, their families, friends of ISU, faculty and staff of the university. As our previous speakers have mentioned, today is the highlight of the academic year, graduation. It is a day to celebrate and a day to be feted. What you have accomplished, as we have learned and as you already know, is very meaningful. You have joined a selected family of over 6,000 space professionals around the world, and you now possess the very coveted membership in the ISU network. I want to speak today, but for a few moments, on the subject of gratitude, and it is my hope that you'll be grateful to me for my brevity. We are all standing on the shoulders of giants. Knowledge is an iterative process with every human being, each generation adding, multiplying, reframing, and reapplying what came before. Whether we are scientists, philosophers, artists, jurists, architects, historians, astronauts, administrators, teachers, whatever we are, we owe a debt of gratitude to those who came before us. We also owe a debt of gratitude to those who have nurtured our talents, freely given us their time, and undertaken the alchemy of turning lead into gold. I refer to our distinguished faculty. Graduates, let us all symbolically express our gratitude to our ISU faculty. But behind the scenes, working quietly and effectively, are those who have ensured that we have enrollment advice. They've helped us to access scholarships. They've assisted us in making visa and housing arrangements. They've helped us get the paperwork right, and that is very important. The efforts of these facilitators, cum administrators, have made our academic pursuits possible. They, too, deserve our gratitude. Finally, and most importantly, are those who gave us life, raised us, fed our early curiosity, and played with us and our toy rockets. Those who watched the children, perhaps, while we worked on our research papers and team projects. Those who gave us meaningful nudges to work harder, to put in more hours, and see what we're doing to completion. Those who helped finance our education, asking for nothing in return. I refer to our families and our benefactors. They too also deserve our gratitude. As we all know, life moves at an increasingly rapid pace, especially aboard the International Space Station. It can be difficult to pause and give thanks, yet gratitude shapes how we experience life itself. And so, thank you for joining me in giving thanks.
Thanks, Dr. Muldoon. Our next address comes to us by video from a woman whose name has become synonymous with the new era of human spaceflight. In September 2021, Dr. Cyan Proctor made history as the pilot of Inspiration 4, which was the world's first all-civilian orbital spaceflight. Moreover, she became the first African-American woman to pilot a spacecraft. A geologist, a U.S. science envoy, an Afrofuturist artist, and one of the most compelling voices in science communication today. Ladies and gentlemen, please give your attention to the screen.
What they're
Cyan Proctor, I should say Dr. Cyan Proctor, it is a pleasure to be with you, and thanks for joining us for our MSS25 graduation ceremony. It's so amazing that you're able to join us at all, and the virtual access due to technology is quite amazing. I know you're in the US, I'm here in Strasbourg, France, and we're pre-recording this about 2 weeks before our graduation ceremony. And we're looking forward to our MSS students having the opportunity to interact with you and be inspired, because you truly are inspirational. You're an astronaut, you are an educator, a geoscientist, an artist, and we can go on. So with that, I'd like to give you an opportunity to make your own introduction about who you are. And I don't want to steal your thunder, because I've seen you do it, and you do it in an amazing way.
Yeah, hi everyone. It's such an amazing honor to be here and to celebrate your graduation with you. I'm a career academic. I just retired last year after 26 years of being a full-time geoscience professor. I've attended many graduations of my students, and it's always such a special day. And so, yeah, I've been in higher ed my entire career, but at the same time chasing space. And I was very fortunate in 2021 to be selected for Inspiration for the first all-civilian mission to orbit the Earth. And I got selected as an artist and a poet. I won the Prosperity Seat by writing an original poem called Space to Inspire. But I ended up also becoming the mission pilot. And that this is one of the things that you're going to find is what we call the ripple effect. And we can talk about that. But I ended up becoming the mission pilot. And as a result, I'm the first woman commercial spaceship pilot and the only African American woman to be a mission pilot so far.
Talk to the audience about your own journey.
Yeah, I'm a moon celebration baby. I was born on the island of Guam because my dad was working at the NASA tracking station during the Apollo missions. In fact, and on my wall right there, that's an Apollo certificate that my dad got when he was on Guam for Apollo 11. And I was born 8.5 months after Neil Armstrong stepped foot on the moon. So that's why I'm a moon celebration. And then COVID hit in 2020. That's when I turned 50, and I became a space artist and a poet. So always learning, lifelong learner. And in 2021, I got selected for the Prosperity seat and went and spent 3 days in space. And it was the most amazing experience. There's a photo, a selfie, the ultimate selfie. Life is full of amazing zigs and zags and lots of opportunities. But the one thing is I never gave up hope that I would make it to space.
So several messages there, I think, in terms of words of wisdom, right? Don't let people say no. Don't give up. Be resilient. Be persistent. Lifelong learning, which I love. That's what I think everybody should have the ability to do, from zero to hero over their life cycle. Also, too, just for words of inspiration, you had some cool crewmates on your adventure as well. You want to briefly talk about who you went to space with?
Yeah, you can't see him very well, but they're there in that photo. Jared Isaacman, who is now head of NASA, he was my mission commander. And he's the one who started Inspiration 4. It was his vision. And he gave the other 3 seats away. Wow. And we've got all of our positions here with our crew.
Wow.
So I know, isn't that great?
I want one of those.
A SpaceX employee made this. And so Jared took the leadership position and commander. So this was his seat in the Dragon capsule. And then I had the Prosperity seat, and I was the mission pilot. And then Haley Arsenault was gifted the Hope seat for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, and she was our medical officer. And then Chris Simbrowski won the Generosity seat, and he was our mission specialist. And so this is how we sat in the Dragon capsule. You can see it's not very wide for people, but as soon as you get to space, you've got the volume above, and you can float and things like that.
And we have students that are graduating. They're either already in space or they're looking to get into the space sector. In terms of opportunities, what kind of opportunities exist out there? What should they be looking for?
Well, there is so much opportunity right now, even more so than in the Apollo era that I was born in. And the reason why is because you not only can you do your own startup in the space industry these days, but globally there's so much opportunity. So it doesn't matter where you are in the world, you can kind of find a way to be a part of space or make space part of your future. Find your crew. The people who you went to school with are people who are also looking for opportunity, and come together and think about where your passions intersect, and then move forward with starting a company, because there's money out there. But the key to that is it's hard to do it alone. Find your crew and then together forge a path forward.
So that is tremendous advice. I'm just curious for yourself, did you have mentors around you, or did you find your own way? And if you could change something about your own journey, knowing what you know now, what would that be?
Yeah, my very first mentor was my dad. He was the person who encouraged me and told me that I could do anything, but he passed away when I was 19. And I grew up in an era where mentors weren't, I'm 56 now. Mentors weren't a thing necessarily. If you had the right access to the right community, you got mentors. But, neither of my parents had college degrees. So what you don't know, you don't know. And so for me, I had to figure so much out on my own. And that's one of the things that I look back and I regret that I didn't take that into my own hands to find good mentorship. So my advice is find and seek good mentorship, and it can come and look in any form. Mentors don't have to be older. They just have to be able to provide you with a broader perspective.
If you could offer one piece of guidance advice to our graduating class, for either as a class or as an individual graduating, what would that one piece of advice be? No rules.
My one piece of advice is know yourself, engage in self-reflection as a part of your standard operating manual for yourself. I talk about space to inspire as my motto, and it's not about outer space, it's about this space, the space that makes you you, and how you use your space matters. The things you do, the things you say, how the energy you bring into the world, how you present yourself, that is your space to inspire. And when you learn deeply about yourself, and so go and take the time to understand the things that you're good at, the things that you like, and not the negatives, the positives. Look for those positives, the things. What do you bring to a team? And so I can walk into a room now and I can say, look, this is what I'm going to provide you. And so if you can do that for yourself, you are going to become a much stronger crew member because you know what you bring to that team.
So as we close out, sometimes you're never asked a question by a panel moderator, as an example. I know it happens to me all the time, and there's just something burning that you just have to say. Is there any final words that you would like to leave for our new graduates?
I think the biggest thing that I have to say is your life is your own personal journey. Don't measure yourself and your success against others. And I know that's hard to do, particularly in a world of social media, and you see people doing things and having these amazing experiences. I always try to lead with gratitude of where I am, and where I want to go. So when you see, first of all, if you go after something and it's a no, it's not a no, it's a not yet. You got to think, the most important conversation you will ever have is the conversation you have with yourself every single day. And so when you're having that voice inside your head fueling you with doubt or telling you you're not good enough, you've got to have that conversation and look at where that's coming from. A lot of times that's fear of failure, fear of being excluded, fear of the unknown, and take on those fears and learn to have these creative conversations with yourself, so that you can use your space to inspire yourself and those around you and beyond. And what I say, let your earth light shine.
So I think that's a great ending and a lot of great guidance and advice there. And I think that's probably something that people don't really think about, is having a conversation with themselves. It can be scary sometimes.
Yeah.
But you're right. And I think there's a lot of takeaways here. Mentorship, don't take no. Follow your dreams, your passions, and don't be afraid to try the startup, the scale up. And I just want to say thank you for your time again today, and everything that you do for the world of space. And we'll look forward to continued discussions in the future, and look forward to seeing you again in person soon.
Yep, and congratulations.
Wow, that was great. So now it's my honor to introduce a woman who has been at the heart of the graduating class's journey all along. As the Chief Academic Officer and the Professor of Human Performance in Space, she has overseen all of the academic programs that have shaped every graduate in this room. She's one of the world's foremost researchers on how spaceflight environment affects the body, with research being conducted at NASA's Johnson Space Center and the Baylor College of Medicine before joining ISU. Please welcome ISU's Chief Academic Officer, Dr. Virginia Wittring.
Hello, everyone. To the class of MSS25, welcome back. You may not realize it, but back in January or so, myself and my fellow faculty, we started hearing about your progress in the real world. When you started getting online with us and having these Zoom meetings, catching up about what you were doing in your internship and your thesis, we were watching you. And it was amazing. It was just amazing to see what you were doing and how you were taking what we had taught, what we had talked to you about, and putting it into action and developing your own career path going forward from that. It is something that is amazing to watch. And I think I can speak for the faculty when I say we love that for you. We are absolutely delighted to be seeing you do that kind of thing. And I know that, well, it wasn't exactly a smooth ride the whole time. I know that some of your family and your friends are here, and I don't want to burst any bubbles they might have, any impressions about what education here at ISU is like. But it wasn't always smooth sailing every moment, right? We have an unusual kind of a program. You could use other words, but let's go with unusual. We stress the I's, right? And what are they? Interdisciplinary, intercultural, international, and innovative. So in order to meet those 3, 4 I's, we ask our students to do some really unusual things. So we put everyone from all backgrounds together into all their classes. We ask a medical doctor to design a satellite. Who would do that? We ask the engineers to think like medical doctors. Just as crazy. It sounds nuts when I put it like that, but this is exactly what we do. And there are reasons behind it, and it's largely so that this group of students coming through our program, they get experience being able to talk to people who have different training than they do, people who have a different educational background, people who have different experiences, and also people from different countries, people from different cultures. If you can manage to complete this educational program in this unusual environment that we intentionally create for you, well, that puts you in a place where you've already practiced. You've already learned some techniques about how to communicate with people who might be different from you, how to communicate with people who have entirely different backgrounds. They may speak the same language or a different language, but because of your different educational backgrounds, you have essentially your own languages in that background. We try to teach you how to get past those barriers. And I distinctly remember telling the team project, the CDG team project at the beginning of the year, that it was going to be a pressure cooker environment, and it was going to really be so similar to what it feels like to work on a big space project at a space agency or a space company. In these real world scenarios, you wind up working with people who have different backgrounds than you do. Education, country, language, all of those differences may be there. And in those environments, on those big space projects, you don't choose who you're working with. It just happens. It's a really realistic environment. And we gave you the space pun totally intended, to learn how to do that, right, in a relatively low stakes environment. And look at what you did in that student project. It was pretty amazing. Both groups, really pretty amazing. So you proved to yourselves and to us that you could do that. You got practice at it. Now you're out in the world really doing this now. This is your life now. How does that feel? It's awesome, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome. We did some other cool stuff along the way too. We did the professional visits. And so I remember the SES visit where we got to see and learn more about satellites. We went to EarCAD, and I think we all saw at once Ian really connect, and that was the moment for him. We had great moments in some of the activities we did here. There was the poster competition with Professor Hill. I know he's so sorry he can't be with us today. He really loves connecting with the students. He's certainly very sad to have missed you today. We also had amazing interdisciplinary workshops. Remember the architecture workshop where we took over the whole ground floor of the building? And you got to do more interdisciplinary things in these workshops. Great memories, as well as great learning experiences. And I hope that you keep those memories and cherish them forever, but I also hope that you share them. I think there is an attitude toward learning that is a part of ISU. And I hope that you all retain that attitude, and I hope that you all share that with the people that you wind up teaching in the future. Not that every one of you is going to become a teacher, but every one of you will be teaching other people, right? In one sense or another, you will be. And I hope that you carry these kinds of values with you going forward. You're stepping into your next stage now as you officially move from student to alumni. You're joining a big network, and you already know a lot of people in that network. You've already interacted with many of them. I hope that you'll continue to. That network itself is kind of a living, breathing piece of ISU on its own in the world and often doing great things. So bear that in mind always. We really want you to carry these pieces of ISU with you. And I am very happy that I've been a part of it. Video? So we have prepared, with the help of our IT professionals, we have prepared a little video that shows some of what you did last year. So if you'll direct your attention to the screen. Some good memories, right? Yeah. At this time, I'd like to call up the student class representatives. Ian first, or Zoe, or both together? All right. Ms. Zoe Hughes, the floor is yours. And Dr. Ian Docks.
Hello, everyone. Hey. For those that may not know me, my name is Zoe Hughes, and I'm one of the class representatives alongside Dr. Ian Docks here. It's a pleasure to stand here before you all today, to see new and familiar faces, to see my friends and their families and support systems that allowed them to be part of this master's program. How wonderful it is for us to be able to gather once again. I feel like I've lived a lifetime since we were gathered in this auditorium for the first time 2 years ago in August 2024. But at the same time, it feels like yesterday. Maybe it feels like that for you guys too. I remember on that first day, I was so intimidated by the lot of you, from Jerry confidently fanning himself in the hot afternoon, to overhearing Mike arguing with Olivia about the defense industry, to feeling Jamal silently judging me across the table at lunch. It was a fever dream. And did I mention that this guy's a medical doctor? Yeah, I remember hosting that birthday dinner before any of us even had properly met, and being amazed that Maggie and Remy knew Strasbourg already like the back of their hands. Even now, you all still intimidate me. I mean, have you all heard Hunter present? Have you seen Ege direct an entire architecture workshop? Have you watched Nikhil organize a 9-page overleaf bibliography with in-text citations? Have you attended a class where Sebastian was asking questions? And, have you met Maria? I could go on and on and on. Nothing could have prepared me for the wild ride that ISU took us on. And wild ride it's been since we were all last in Strasbourg together. Special shout out to the Cologne DLR gang, who had to put up with me for another 6 months, and especially Natasha, who had to endure me purposely moving my desk as close as physically possible to hers in our lab office. Yet, throughout this chaotic and life-changing journey over the last few years, I feel so lucky to have met and learned from all of you. When I first decided whether or not to come to ISU to cross the ocean from Albuquerque, New Mexico in the United States, to travel to a different continent, live in another country, and partake in an intense program with new people from around the world, I was super excited, but also very nervous. I'm sure many of you felt that way too. But while making my decision, my best friend told me, "Do it scared." And I think those words have changed my perspective more than I could ever know. And after getting to know you all, I think those words defined all of our mindsets. I have seen firsthand what makes our incredibly diverse, multifaceted, multilingual, international, intercultural, interdisciplinary, and intersectional group all so similar. We are fueled with unbelievable passion and will let it take us to places others would never dare to go. I mean, this is a space school, after all. Our dreams know no bounds, and our determination is unyielding. And I'm thankful for ISU to have brought together such a group of inspiring and daring individuals that I will call friends and colleagues for the rest of my life. And not just those of us in this room, also the community of dreamers who have all passed through ISU and continue to uplift one another around the world. That includes the teachers and mentors too, who have supported and guided us toward our goals, even those who cannot be here with us today. And so much gratitude must also be extended to our families, our loved ones, and friends who all helped us get here. We are gathered in this room because we share hope. Hope for humankind, for the prospect of further discovery and exploration, for pushing the boundaries of technology and science, for sharing knowledge and inspiring the next generations, and for promoting collaboration and communication across the world. As we all continue on our array of journeys through life, industry, academia, education, we must remember that it is this hope that should be the true driver of us all. It must carry through our actions and our impact, even when the institutions and systems in place may lose sight of and diminish these intentions. I hope each of you know how much power you individually hold in creating change, cultivating curiosity, and building a future only we could dream of. What a privilege it is to share the celebration and accomplishment with you all, graduates, teachers, staff, even our classmates that were able to be here in person today. How lucky am I to have shared endless laughs, bike rides, travels, chess games, craft days, study nights, wild boar sightings, IKEA trips, cooking creations, dances, runs, band sessions, and especially tart flambés with all of you beautiful people. I couldn't have made it through ISU without any of you, and you will all continuously inspire me in every way possible for the rest of my life. Words can't describe how excited I am to see where our dreams may carry us all. And remember, no matter how daunting or difficult the road ahead may seem, do it scared, my friends.
Well, thank you, Zoe, for those beautiful words. I don't think I can match that. But I know that's the point because you always speak so nicely. Well, hello, everyone. I'm Ian Dux, as Zoe just mentioned. Well, my first approach to ISU was, and I must admit, a little bit skeptical. First, I wasn't even sure it was a real university because, well, it was a space university. So and second, because every student I met here had such incredible skills. Each of you represented a different field of curiosity, and somehow we were all united by one thing, which is space. I cannot imagine exactly how each of you felt when you arrived here, but I can share how I felt. I come from a different environment from the one I experienced here at ISU. But that is what life is about, right? It's about change. Change is the only constant in all of us, and I believe change should always be directed towards something good. One thing I have always taught my students in the hospital: or even my soldiers I work with in the army, is do good and be good. Whatever your dreams or aspirations are, do good for people. Whether you are here on Earth, on space, or even if you get to another planet, always be good. Do not be afraid to dream beyond established thinking. Innovate. Take risks. Push the limits of society. And also, before I finish this kind of boring speech, I want to thank my teachers. I want to thank the ones who could not be here. Thank you, Professor Hill, for being a great friend and a great mentor. Thank you to my colleagues that are here seated and the ones who couldn't be here. They helped me along, especially Maria, with all the projects and all the astrophysics. Andrew, Victor, who are my brothers, who I live with them here. And a very special thank you to my wife, Mariana, who she could not be here with me tonight, for always supporting my dreams, my parents, and my siblings, who they were always constantly encouraging me to push beyond my boundaries. This is not the end. It is the beginning of a new adventure. As Zoe said, do it with fear, but do it. People may call us crazy, and you know what? Yes, we are the crazy ones. Because we are the crazy ones that will do good in this world. So make a better world and push beyond these limits. Thank you, everyone.
That was beautiful. So truly, thank you both. That was beautiful. And to everyone in this room, thank you, to the class of 2025. I think a key thing is just remembering how much has been accomplished, right? We've had a bunch of speakers, but then we saw the story. So we saw the vision, and then we remembered where you're going, what you went through, and then now where you're going to. And so it is now at the formal heart of the ceremony. So it's my honor to invite the president of the International Space University, Dr. John Wensveen, and the chief academic officer, Dr. Virginia Wotring, to confer upon our graduates their diplomas and pins. But before we begin, just a few little notes. Please feel free to applaud as your graduate's name is called. But number two is we do ask that you remain near your seats during the conferral, as we have a wonderful professional photographer who will capture every moment. However, after the end of this formal ceremony, then you can come down for individual photos on the stage with your graduate and their flag, just to keep things tidy and organized. So, come on down. You guys will stand right there and there. Trisha, we're going to see how much you remember what I told you. So, coming up first, for certificate of completion, Trisha Rawlings. Now for the Masters of Space Studies, the MSS, Andrew Kaleni. Emanuela Gamba. Fernanda Islas. Jillian Chin. Harry, Tavi, and Deep. James Thacker. Jamal Karaka. Maria Tropaglia. Natasha Shanmugan. Amy Holmes McDowell. Asamina Kafasi. Claudio Tayatu. Henri Roviera. Hunter Moore. Ian Docks. Marta Seed Lopez. Michael Sandreeser. Remy Morana. Sebastian Savory. Sophie Schubert. Tessa Rankin. Zoe Hughes. Okay. So, we now are going to recognize those students who are not here in person, but some of whom are online. Their achievement is no less real, and their place in this community is no less certain. As I call each name, I invite those who are online to wave to the camera. So please direct your attention to the screen. And for those of you who are watching from afar, we see you, we miss you, and we are proud of you. So, coming for the certificate of completion, Thomas Pipkins. For the Master of Space Studies, Avansha Mansukram. From MSS25, Johan Bertrand. Mark Singh. Nikhil Hubali. Rohini Parthasarathi. Srata Udayakumar. And lastly, Victor Kuzak. And I found out that it's Victor's birthday today. And a Rebbe Fasti. Oh, yes, so sorry. My greatest apologies. My notes are all messed up. I have three more. I'm so sorry. So, for the Masters in Science of Space Studies, we have Charlotte Bunch. Faustine Carcera. And Maria Volosatov. So, For those all attending, please join me in congratulating the entire class of MSS MSc 2025. Now the president will take the podium.
Thank you, Patrick. All right, this is it. Graduates of the Master of Space Studies, Master of Science in Space Studies, and Certificate of Space Studies class of 2025. Earlier today, we reflected on your journey, your achievements, and the future that you now have the opportunity to shape. This moment represents the culmination of your hard work, your perseverance, and your commitment to advancing the global space community through collaboration, innovation, and leadership. At the International Space University, we believe that space is not only about discovery, it is about bringing humanity together to solve complex challenges and create a better future for all. Graduates, you now carry that mission. You join a global network of ISU alumni who are leading across industry, government, academia, entrepreneurship, and international organizations all over the world. Wherever your journey takes you next, you will always remain part of the ISU family. And now, by the authority invested in me, we're going to add another year to your degree. I'm just joking. This is the most important part. And now, by the authority invested in me by the Board of Trustees of the International Space University, and upon recommendation of the faculty, I hereby confer upon those candidates who have successfully completed the prescribed course of study the degree or certificate of Master of Space Studies, Master of Science in Space Studies, and Certificate of Space Studies, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. Graduates, congratulations. We are proud of you, we believe in you, and we look forward to the impact that you will make here on Earth and beyond. Please give yourselves an applause and congratulations again. Over to you, sir.
So, to the graduating class of MSS and MSc 2025, you arrived here from different countries, from different backgrounds, from different languages, from different chapters of your lives. You were asked to work together on problems that were too big for any one of you to solve alone. Put on teams with people you didn't choose. In a language that was not always your own, and certainly in a city that may not be your own. In other words, you were asked to do exactly what the space industry is going to ask of you the rest of your career. But you did it. So you leave here today not only from a globally recognized institution, you leave as members of a community of more than 6,000 alumni in over 110 countries. Astronauts, engineers, scientists, policy advocates, entrepreneurs, and leaders of organizations that are shaping space everywhere for the next decades and yet to come. That community is now yours, and it will be with you wherever you go. So when you go on vacation, hit them up. ISU was founded on 3 principles: international, intercultural, and interdisciplinary. And through the years, it's been added on a 4th, innovation. Carry them all with you. The space sector needs people who understand not just the science, but the people behind it. The engineering, the law, the policy, the ethics, and the dimensions which we don't yet have words for. It needs people who can work across differences, not despite them. It needs you. So, without further ado, we will give you a round of applause, and then we're going to head out to the back for a continuing party in Pioneer Hall. So, if everyone would please stand, rise for one final raucous round of applause for the class of 2025. You are dismissed.